here we are. I keep wanting to say, and here we go, but that would be very inappropriate. Let's not do that. Feels like it's been a while since I've streamed, and yet it hasn't been, which is kind of weird. It's a weird feeling. It does feel like it's been a while since we've been on the Castle Keeper's Guide, and that's what we're obviously working on tonight. Did I just turn Touch off? What am I doing? Alright, that will work. I'll take it. Before we get into this, I want to thank every single one of you viewers. I want to thank you if you are watching me on Twitch. I want to thank you if you are watching me on YouTube. And I particularly want to give a huge shout out to my Patreons and my Twitch subscribers. Huge amount of love to you. I don't think you quite understand just how much you empower me. So, here's a lot of love right to you. So, let's figure out where we left off. When was the last time we did this? Was it last Tuesday? I think it must have been last Tuesday, right? So it's only been a week. Feels longer. And where we left it was right here. This is our village. It's coming along. It's definitely coming along. But we've got to get our farms, our fields, and the grass details in there. So they look a little bit more like this. Give them a little bit of je ne sais quoi, a little bit of sprinkle of salt, as it were, but not in a Carthage-like way. So that's what we're gonna do. Nice, easy, mellow stream. Alex Vixen in the house, bursting through the door. Boosh! Good to see you here, young lady. Tree boy here. Mwah. Let's get into this sucker. And Dalius, Lord Dalius, sir. Good to see you. It is definitely coming along. It's definitely coming along. I mean, honestly, let's be honest here. If we turned that in, I think almost every single publisher in the world would be, okay, cool. And they wouldn't look at it twice. But it's not the way we do things here. We noodle it. We inch it along. We give it a little bit of caress. We stroke it with our pen until people go, oh yeah. And that's what we do. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And we started a little bit of that. I mean, look at our little crops and our little cotton bushes right there. And our little orchard over here. We're definitely, actually, I think I must have started with some of the green already. In fact, I did. You can see where I started the process. So we're going to continue that process tonight, and I think, because normally I start from the ground up, or yeah, kind of I draw from the bottom up, and I've been switching to the top down. But I think, and we're definitely going to do a flagstone on that. Or have I already done a flagstone? No, we're definitely going to do a flagstone on top of that. We'll do the flagstone near last. I'm going to do green. I'm going to do our green, kind of brown, scuzzy borders first, and then we'll do the interiors. Alex Vixen, you know how it goes. You get it. You get it. I have to fight myself sometimes to like go close enough, move on. Alright, so is this my colouring layer? Yeah, that looks like that's my colouring layer. That was my base layer. Okay. So, and then what was this? That was my bushes and stuff. Okay. We'll merge all of those in later on. Cool. Well, let's start. How's everyone been? How were your respective weekends? How was your week treating you so far? What's going well? What's going not so well? I was going to say, come tell you anti-Phaeton, but I'm not anti. Let's do kind of a muddy green to begin with. Fairly dark. If it starts to look too overpowering, don't worry about it, because we come back and we tweak it, until it looks about right. It's a little dark, and also the brush is a little too small. And I also feel we could probably do with a little opacity on there. And let's just make that a little bit that way. Hey, Phantom Jet! Oh, did you just redeem a bean? Really? You come into the channel and you redeem a bean? Alright, well, I'll do that in a moment, okay? Let's make a little bit of progress and then we'll start redeeming beans. I'm not sure I like that green. But I'm going to stick with it because we're going to come over the top with it with a couple more colours. I feel something's off with this blush. What is off with this blush? What is going on here? Yeah, what is... Let's not use that. That's too much. Yeah, I'm not getting the results. Not getting the results I want. Hold on a sec. Well, this one is giving me the results I want, so I'm going to stick with it. Zach wants to take a photo with you. I told him if you eat a bean, you take over the screen. Okay, I'll do it for that. Alex Fiction is tearing something apart. Why is Alex Fiction tearing something apart? Alright, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it because Zach wants it. And Zach gets whatever he asks for because I don't get to talk to the man enough. I love him dearly. And I am going to indulge him. I am going to indulge him right here. Bean time. Oh, the smell that comes out of that jar. It's like it's a combination of candy store. Yay! A scuzzy bathtub. Ooh. And like. If one of your cats had just, like, you know, taken a particularly smelly one downstairs. That's... Okay, so here we go. This is for you, Zach. You son of a gun. Here we go. Deep dive, deep dive, deep dive. I've got a pink one. I think it's bubblegum. No. Cinnamon. Straight up cinnamon. Not horrible. Not spicy. That's actually okay. That's actually okay. Thanks, Zach. Very much appreciated. Alex Vixen, it's funny you should say that. I am freaking starving, girl. I am freaking starving. Like, I had this pretty light lunch, and it was like soup, and I was fine afterwards. But now I'm not fine. Now I'm murderous. So I feel you. I like this bush. What is this bush? I don't know. Let's get my mouse. Airbrush noisy. I like this. I am slapping a favourite on that one. I am digging what that's doing for me. Zach, you are welcome, my very dear friend. Alright, let's keep just noodling and noodling. Then we're going to come back through and I'm going to make a smaller dip dab with mud, and some stone. But this is kind of just the little fertile areas, getting our little splash of green in there before we start adding mud and stone and flagstone and things like that. We will also, of course, be getting all of these gardens and farm crops in there. So lots to do. It's gonna kick ass. Now, it was mentioned, I think last week, hey, I love watching you colour, but, you know, looking forward to watching you draw some things. The next big drawing assignment is probably not until a little bit later in Q1. I want to get the Trollord God Necropolis kind of nailed, and, like, you know, at least in a quality control sort of phase. And when we do that, we'll probably fully move on to our next projects. But in the meantime, I am working on Necropolis tomorrow night, Thursday night, and of course over the weekend. And we'll be doing a little bit of colouring in that. It just won't be city colouring. But there's lots to do on that map. Well, actually, we're making really good freaking progress on that map. But there are lots of things to draw still. That's all. That should be rocky, so I'm not going to get too close there. Alex Vixen poked a button on the redeemable page. Well, let's see what Alex Vixen redeemed. Alex Vixen, it did go. Oh, you big sweetie, you gave me a treat. You gave me a treat. What am I going to eat? Oh, you know what I'm going to eat? Hold on. Screw it. I'm having a cookie. I'm having a cookie. I don't eat cookies enough. And these are like Tate's Bake Shop, Southampton, New Jersey. Or was that New York? New York, I think, actually. And this is a white chocolate macadamia. I'm going to have one of these. I haven't actually had one yet. They were bought for me as a Christmas present type of thing in amongst a whole gift basket. They're meant to be kind of posh. So let's see what they're about. I see Jack's been in here. Treatball, I will check that out. Thank you. I did a bean already, guys. So it's on cooldown. So let's not be turning off the cooler, okay? I don't want to open Discord right now. Well, you know, it's no big deal. I'm just going to open it to one side. You just may hear pings in my ear. Oh, there we go. Oh, shit, where did that go? Oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. What did I grab? Oh, something else. Here we go. Look at that handsome man right there. Look at that pale ghoul behind him. That's a big TV. How big is this TV? You're watching a stream on a big ass TV like that? Respect. And actually reminds me, my camera probably still has the brightness on it, doesn't it? Well, let's do something about that. It's a one feature that does not save in between streams. Let's take that brightness off. There we go. Just a little softer. A little easier. Wargaming, good to see you here. Yeah, it looked like a big TV. Definitely a big TV. We've got so many treats, by the way, Dahlia Sayer. So many freaking treats. Because of the whole Christmas period. We've got more snacks than we normally have in any year, if not multiple years combined. We've got chocolates, we've got truffles. And Jack and I just don't eat that many snack type foods. This is like the first cookie I've had all year. If not the last 3 months. to give you an idea. It's like, I love cookies, I just don't eat them that much. And I should be running with the yellow highlight too, really, shouldn't I? I think we can get away with it a little bit when I'm colouring like this, but... let's keep ourselves honest. Let's keep ourselves honest. That way, look at that. You can absolutely see where I'm working. Wargaming, hold on a sec. No, not like the truffles that, like, you know, the pigs of France dig up. This is chocolate truffles. Cocoa dusted truffles. Belgian. They came in the same gift basket. Well, now they're on my desk. Oh no. Ah, no, Wild Princess Strego Beers. Haven't seen you in a while, young lady. I know you were very busy catching up with those movies. Alright, I'm going to switch over to the other side of the river. I love this airbrush. This, I think, is my new favourite brush for this type of work. And we're definitely going to be coming back over with some lighter colours. I've got a new philosophy nowadays with my colouring. Pulling it towards lighter colours after I'm done. That way I don't oversaturate it, you know, with it, like the whole map just like green. Yeah, Alex Vixen, what is with that too? And like some people are like crazy stupid, like getting out of cars at safari parks and shit. Like some humans genuinely deserve to get what's coming to them. I feel that in times gone by, they wouldn't have been protected and they would have suffered the consequences. And nowadays we're all like, oh, well, they should do something. They should put down the lion. And it's like, how about not getting out of your car, you stupid bugger? How about that? Thank you, Princess. It is definitely taking shape. I want to kind of have this finished tonight. That's my objective. So we're just going to spend the next hour and a half just basically now doing the groundwork. We're starting by adding those patches of green where you got like patches of grass and stuff like that. That's why I focus around bushes and trees and such. I do less, obviously, where we've got rocks, but you still get little tufts of grass and things on rocks. Then we're going to come back over with some mud. We're going to come back over with some rock. And we're just going to tease it until it's a mwah. And then we can call this sucker done. We do have the crops to do as well. And strictly speaking, I should do the shadows of these hills. I really need to remember to do that. Because these hills are not going to pop off the map if I don't do that. But I'm going to try and just motor so we can get to that point. Because there's lots of rocks and small hills on this map. And if we can get the shadows and everything in there, they're just going to... It's going to look 3D. Yeah, wargaming, exactly. It's that type of thing. I mean, look, I don't wish harm on anyone on the planet by any stretch of the imagination. But it's like jumping into a piranha pool to take a selfie. It's like, can I just stop you there? Can we think this through? And that one was a bad one. Alex, I've heard of that one. I'm going to be surgical with the rock here. Should be in the drier areas. A little bit like this. We'll come back to the fields. I don't want to make them too rocky. Let's make this house like a little rocky right there. And kind of along the edge of the water. A little bit, just where there are rocky parts. Wow, the true Tash rating with a party of 10. Holy smokes. Thank you and welcome. If I am reading that right. That is awesome. Come on. Tribe Faden, give the raid a hearty welcome. Come on. Let's hear it for the raid. Thank you so much. I'm going to zoom out of this. I'm going to show you what I'm working on. But I'm going to zoom out right now. I am humbled. Thank God I finished my cookie before you got here. You are all awesome people. Thank you so much. I'm going to hit save just in case I do something crazy. So let me tell you what we're working on here. This particular map is for Trollord Games. They kickstarted a book last year, which is a redo of a book that already existed called The Castle Keeper's Guide. My understanding is it's a little bit like the old Dungeons and Dragons book. It's a veritable smorgasbord of information kind of for world builders and GMs. Like how things work, and in there, settlement types, populations, that type of thing. So they contracted me to do 12 maps for them, going from a thorp to a hamlet to a village to a small town to an unwalled city to a walled city or fortified city to a sprawling metropolis, and also a sprinkle, if you will, of fortification types. So we've got a single tower, we've got the Motte and Bailey, we've got a small castle, we've got a greater castle. 12 maps in all. They're going to put them, obviously, individually across a book. But I thought, it's sexier if we put them on one canvas. So that's what this is. I'm doing them on one canvas. We'll deliver them separately. So you can see here's my black and white work that I've done on previous weeks. And this is a page, while things like this are half pages. So this is what we've been doing. We've been just having a lot of fun with this one. Hey, French Kitty, thank you so much. Well, thank you. So let's try turning our colouring off here. Well, there you go. Here's our black and white work. I'm working on just a touch tablet with a pen. This happens to be a Cintiq 24-inch HD Touch, but it's a touch tablet. And I'm drawing in Photoshop, so this is our typical sort of black and white work here. And then we colour it. And that's what I'm doing tonight. So kind of moving my way through. This is the thorp. This is the hamlet. And we're currently working on the village. And what we do, by the way, in the stream is we just like hang out and we talk about what we're doing, and people get to add things into the maps as in the chat. So we've kind of created this together. I just draw it. Hello, gentlemanly thought. How are you, sir? Well, I'll tell you what, young man. We happen to have been raided about 5 minutes ago, and so, gosh darn it, we have quite a few people in the chat. Fancy that. To everyone else out there, I only do that for gentlemanly thoughts, because his name just seems like that's the way you should talk to him. Marching camp, I modelled this on a Roman one. I like how this turned out. It's just a marching camp, but I like how it turned out. This is our half-page Mott and Bailey. I'm okay with this one. I might come back to the colouring on that one. I kind of want to lighten up some of the groundwork. I want to get some more rocks in there. And this, I don't do cutaways. This was my first cutaway I've ever done. This is our little block tower, which is apparently a real tower, a type. And I by the way, I just love the forest on this one. Like that's the first time I've done a forest that way, and I just love it. So this is what we're doing, and so we're hanging back tonight, and I'm working on this. This is, by the way, what I'm mostly known for, is drawing towns and cities for the RPG industry. Gaxmore last year I did, and that's typically the type of map I get approached for, but it's not exclusive. Fail Squad Games TV, Alyssasaurus. Yes, great raid. Thank you so much. I feel like I should show you one of my other maps. In fact, if the raid likes, let me show you one of my other maps. Let's open up Light Harbor, shall we? It's been a while since we've all seen Light Harbor. Let's let Photoshop do its thing. This is a type of thing that I'm best known for. This right here. It doesn't really matter that it's called Light Harbor. It was for a company called Noble Dwarf. The point is, this is the type of crazy detail city map that we do. And we do all sorts of different types. This one took about 80 hours, I believe, to complete. And Clockingham is indeed in here. Clockingham Palace, I think, is there. Specifically, there. So this is a type of this is a good illustration of the type of map that I draw typically. Now this was a pretty gigantic map. It was a labor of love for the particular client. We really get into some of the details like little crates and cranes and things like that, and on the docks. I really like how this one turned out. We've got our little lighthouse going on there. And what I try to do is I try to create a map that makes the onlookers, the players or the GMs, thank you so much, just go, what's that? What's that? Even years later go, what is that on the map? I kind of like here in the slums, if you look carefully, there's one green tree in a courtyard. And so it kind of invokes that story. It's like, well, what is this tree about? And I kind of tried to do that type of thing all over. Just add these little nooks, these little crannies, these little interesting buildings. And by the way, this particular client had the interior of this building drawn. So I put the interior underneath the glass window there. So yeah, this is... I like this map. We got a little octopus mosaic in the bathhouse right there. My hallmark is I just do stupid detail, and I don't know when to stop. Truth be told. Alright, so let's switch back to the project that we were working on, the Castle Keeper's Guide over here. Let's see if my computer can handle all of this going at the same time. Marlin's girl! Good to see you here, young lady. Alright, so we're colouring. We're colouring, and I forgot where we left this. Oh, and cheers, everyone. I just draw maps and I drink whiskey. True Tash, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's go on this side. What was I doing? I was doing rock. Just gonna use this just to dry up some things. I'm gonna then, I think, come over with some highlights and lowlights in those rocky areas as well. And I might then take it as an opportunity to actually get our shadows done, because the shadows just make the elevated areas pop so much. I think it'll be worth it. All right, let's get these. I'm almost using this like a sponge. I'm just drying up the areas I don't see as being too fertile, just removing a little bit of that green. Princess Strecker, okay. Crown Royale, go for it. Nice one. Good bag too. I actually had a Japanese whiskey. I'm signed up for Flavia, the whiskey tasting club, and they sent Jack and I a Japanese rice whiskey as one of the things to sample. It was interesting. It was not bad. Forget what it was called now. French Kitty, yes you can, darling. Yes you can. So in all seriousness, all of my videos get uploaded to YouTube, and I am very free with my advice on how to draw. I also release how-to videos, and funny enough, here in the next couple of months, I will be releasing how to draw this style. So if you want to, maybe can Pex or someone put in a proper link, because we don't have the vanity URL. Can someone put in a proper link to my YouTube channel, so people know where to find that? It's worth following me there. And if anyone ever asks me a question about, hey, how can I do this? Or what do you think of this? Or show me your map, I'll happily say, well, this is what I would do to approach this problem, or this is how I would draw it. I love helping people out draw maps. No problem with that. Rocks. It's like, where are my rocks gone? Here they are. Thank you for the socials. The YouTube one is not correct. That was correct, it's currently not correct. So I had a YouTube channel, but I wanted to actually make it a business one. So we've made the business one, we removed everything from this and ported it across, but the vanity URL was still over here on last Sunday. We took the vanity URL away, but it still hasn't been freed up on the new site yet. So that vanity URL currently won't work. Can someone post the non-vanity version? The pleb version, the icky version? No, that's not it either. No. Is that... Really? Is that it? Really? Oh, you know what? It can't lay on 19. Really? Is that it? I've got to check this. Oh no, I'm checking this. Yeah, that's the one. That's my intro music. Okay. Like, everything has my pick. What are you talking about has my pick? But yes, that's the one. So if you are genuinely interested, honestly, just follow that. And I'm trying to release videos on a fairly regular basis on how to. But also, all of my streamed videos are available there, so you can kind of skip through them, get to the bits that you like, and, you know, learn from them as well. But watch for the how-tos. That's going to be a library that we're really going to be growing here. Did the music stop? No, it's just super, super, super quiet. I'm going to leave it alone. Alright, a few rocks going on here, a few rocks going on here. I'm going to get a little bit more mud in this area. A few rocks definitely going on in this area. Oh, and I will say, on Thursday of this week, we are going to have our very own Wargaming Recon as a guest with us. So you're going to want to check that out. I think that looks good for stone. I don't think I want to make any more stones here. I am going to lighten this up a touch though. I'm going to go full on white. And I'm going to make the brush smaller. Come on, baby. You can do it. There you go. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tease in just a little bit of kind of shoreline. Especially in the stonier areas like this. This is all stony. This is all stony. Likewise right here. There we go. Lovely jubbly, edge of the actual farm. Right here. Just a little bit. Get a little bit of stone in here. And definitely right here as well. Okay, let's do the same on the other side. What I'm doing here is I'm actually emphasizing the ridges. Like this is a ridge that kind of slopes down to this section there. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of highlight on the top area. Then I'm going to do low lights on the other side of it. This will help elevate these ridges. It's a little brute force, but it works. Alex Vixen, you are ruthless, girl. You are ruthless. But what you should be doing is banning him during the stream. In front of his own eyes. Let's get that road emphasized a little bit. Why are you guys talking about 1390s? What is it? Oh, those are the graphics cards. Can you even get hold of those at this point? I'm probably gonna get one of those, by the way, a year from now. I'm not even gonna bother trying to get one right now. Alright, and what I'm doing here is, so here's the top of my ridge. Let's highlight the top of the ridge. But then let's catch the edges of the hill where the sun would hit. And then we're going to do the opposite, and we're going to create some shadows, and that's just, it's just going to pick the whole thing off the map. I have a 2080 GeForce RTX Super. The TI, I guess. Is it the TI? Yeah, Fail Squad. I mean, I am running 64 gig of memory in this machine, and it's definitely been better than the old machine. Just all round, it's been better. Like, I couldn't even open Teagle Manor effectively, and I can now. And Necropolis, I just wouldn't have been able to draw Necropolis. I don't even think I actually would have been able to work on this map, all 12 maps on one canvas. No way. So my machine is definitely a lot better, but I don't think Photoshop does a particularly good job of making resource management, you know, effective. Not at all. Princess, I actually got this machine right on the cusp of the, you know, the 3080s, the 3090s, the 3070s being announced. Literally right on the cusp. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't wait, only because of the scarcity that they've been under. And I'm actually a pretty patient person with hardware. I'll just wait a year. I'll wait 2 years, and I'll pick up one then. I don't need to be cutting edge all the time. I spent a lot of money just for the hardware I have got, like with the NVMEs and stuff. So I feel like I don't need the latest graphics card as well. But I will get one. I will get one. Gentlemanly thoughts. Photoshop is very bad at resource management. It's a shame because it would be a lot better if it was better optimized. I don't disagree with that statement at all. Like, not at all. I mean, I'm no expert on it other than I use it. But I will say that I've noticed, because they're continually iterating Photoshop, I feel like they've almost got into that trap of computer games. You know, when a computer game comes out every single year, they start to release versions that are buggy. I've found more buggy versions in the last 2 or 3 years in Photoshop than ever before. Ever before. And I don't think they really do much to try and fix them. Alright, let's give our hills here a little bit of love. Just to get them to pop off the map a little bit. Yes, I agree with you, Wargaming, on that front. I truly do. But they definitely don't. They definitely don't. Alright, so I definitely have that building to colour. I have the graveyard to colour. And I know I've got to do all of the farms. And I've actually got that aviary I've got to colour as well. Plus, we do have all of these paths that I've got to get in. But let's stay focused on our hills for the moment. Because you know me, I love to get distracted. It's like, ooh, squirrel. Alex Dixon, I think there's truth in that too. And funny enough, I still feel like the analogy over to computer games is relevant because You get something like EA's FIFA or EA's, Madden. They've got exclusivity. They don't have to compete against anyone. They're releasing titles all of the time, and it can be hot garbage, and it doesn't matter. Because what are you going to do? You've got to use their game. And I think there is definitely an element of that. And I would love to see and I think there are some competitors beginning to come out, but I would like to see a strong competitor to Photoshop. I think that would be extremely healthy. Look, I'm doing roads, but I think I did all of the highlights. Oh no, I didn't. So I said, look, I get distracted, and I got distracted. All right, a little bit more. The reason for me doing this is going to make sense when I start dropping in those low lights. And then when we add the shadows, kapow! I promise you, kapow! That's a technical mapping term. Oh, they're looking pretty good. Let's hit save. Alright, let's do the opposite. Let's go in with a darker grey. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to catch where the sun isn't shining. Just little bits here and there. My sun, by the way, I always have kind of coming in from this angle. That's my golden rule. So like right here, the sun wouldn't be catching this part, right? Let's get a little bit in here. And then I'm going to get a super soft brush, some pretty good opacity, black, and we're going to throw in some shadows on this bad boy. There we go. Yeah, especially because we've got a nice big hill here. We're gonna want this hill just to really pop off the map. That's going to be important. By the way, doing a little darker line underneath the highlight actually makes the highlight pop even more. Let's get our cave. I think these hills are beginning to climb off the page. What do you think? I'm beginning to see a little bit of elevation forming. Slowly but surely. Let's come in underneath our highlights here. And there. Let's get this Mama Jama. I don't think this needs anything. That's pretty good right there. Okay. That shark submarine is a Patreon only gift. But yeah, I can dig that up. I'll dig that up on a future stream, okay? I'll just show you. What's got people talking about shark submarines? That was a client, by the way, that I actually did quite a lot of work for back in the day. I want to say about 6-7 years ago. And unfortunately, I think they just, you know, small publisher problems. They just kind of had some internal issues, and they just eventually kind of just broke up. It was a little bit of a shame. I did a lot of work for those guys. And they always had fun things too. The Elven Tree City was for the same guys. Wait a minute, Wargaming Recon, you tried to buy the shark mug, and the site wouldn't let you buy it. Let me know if that doesn't get resolved this week, okay? You should be able to totally buy it. But also, Treebor, I think it'd be kind of cool to put that shark submarine. We should put the shark submarine out into merchandising, because it's really cool that way. We'll do it. I need to review some of that content there, but yeah, there's no reason why I couldn't do that. That shark sub would look great on a mug or a t-shirt. Yes, Mark is done. He's back. He came back like Sunday or Monday. I spoke to him on Monday, so I know he's back. Have I ever done mapping for Mongoose? No, I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Treebor, that's is Peck still around? Someone write in Discord Shark Submarine on merchandising, and after the stream I'll pick up on it and I'll add it to our list without a doubt, because it'd look cool. Because it's got a lot of personality. Like cities have personality, sure, but something distinct and small like that, Shark Sub, it's like you could even just have like a little logo Shark Sub, and like on like a nice little polo, and that would look cool too, or hoodie or something. Okay, so we'll make sure Pex knows about it. Just put it into chat that we need to put the Shark Sub into merchandising, and we'll get it on his list. Pex is multitasking. Shadows. Let's do some shadows. I'm actually going to come up way up here for this. I am going to drop our opacity to about 25. Perfect. I'm going to change our brush. I love this brush. I'm actually going to... I'm really tempted to take that brush up the top. What's this one? Yeah, I'm stealing this brush. Come here. Go up here into my favourite pile. You get to play with the other children. Come on. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. There we go. Excellente. Fantastic. And I'm going to do this brush fairly large. Fairly large. Maybe even larger than that. And we're going to go switch to black. And I might actually do a different layout for this, so we can play around. You know what? Yeah, I'll try this with the brush. Let's just get a little bit of shadow in there. A little bit of shadow in here. Just a little bit in there. Definitely in here. brush might be a tad big. Might be a tad big. I'm going to undo those and we're going to redo it. Alright, Princess. Midwest! They get bigger than that, sorry, Jim. But yeah, it was a big brush. How you been, Midwest? Phantom Jen says, why not have two lists make you a shark submarine? I don't know who two lists is. But yeah, I drew a shark submarine 6, 7, 8 years ago, maybe. And I actually shared it with my Patreon supporters. And that's what Trebor is responding to, because he loves it. And we're going to put that shark submarine on merchandising, because it would look really, really, really cute. It would. Toolis is an angry egg. Well, he doesn't sound like a very nice man at all. But yeah, seriously, Jen, this is really a case of I didn't realize. So there's a lot of maps that I've done, folks. Just so you all realize. Actually, let me take a step backwards. In all of the time that I've been drawing maps, I've kind of had this agreement, sometimes written, sometimes not, sometimes verbal or otherwise, that I reserve the right to use the works that I've created in merchandising efforts directly related to me. But there's certain clients where you just can't do that, or certain projects, and I'll give you an example. Teagle Manor for Trollord Games. I can't just go off and start putting Teagle Manor all over t-shirts or bedspreads or anything, because Trollord Gods would probably go, what you doing? So that requires its own contract, its own negotiation, right? So there's actually a huge chunk of work that I've done that have been for specific publishers and specific projects that you never get to see again. I just don't repeat the work, you know? I don't shower the work out there, so to speak. And some of them just drop off the radar. And sometimes, though, in amongst that shuffle of me kind of just, because I always err on the side of like put it to one side until at least they're done with their Kickstarter or their publishing or whatever else, sometimes I just forget about a piece or even a lot of pieces, and they never see the light of day, or they certainly, you know. So I'm trying to share more of that, so to speak, just so you go, hey, she did Shark Submarine once. But I think the Shark Submarine, I actually could throw on a t-shirt. I have the right to do that. Like the hammer ship in Spelljammer, a little bit, but yeah, underwater and more shark shape, not hammerhead. It wasn't that type of thing. It was this was an underwater. This was way more Captain Nemo. Okay, that's the only way I can describe it. Blood sugar and pressure is better. It's healthier than last year. Well, that's good. That's great, Midwest. And genuinely thoughts, I absolutely actually do have an Excel file that I am currently populating. Pieces that I like, everything, just everything. It's going in there. Yes. Actually, the last quarter of last year was the most organised I've ever been for just getting my work together. And it's honestly been that rebirth of my Patreon that has caused me to really track my work closer. There was a whole bunch of stuff I did for Frog God that I completely forgot about because I didn't have it in the Frog God folder. And it was like the first project I ever did with them. And it's like, there was dozens of maps in there. I was like, what is this? Who did I do this for? That's a prime example. But yeah, I'm better organised now. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely. And Patreons definitely will get the benefit from that, by the way. You know, as I come across things that maybe I'd forgotten about, or, you know, maybe I did it for Kobold Press. I did 3 cities, maybe 4, but definitely 3 cities for Kobold Press. I did do 4 cities for Kobold. I've not done anything with those, you know, because they belong to Kobold. That's kind of the thing. So that's the type of thing where I could go, well, hey guys, did this map for Kobold Press, here it is, sharing it on Patreon. That I can do. And you may not, by the way, you may not even know that I did those maps because a different cartographer got the credit. I'm gonna make this an 80. I'm gonna be okay with that. I'm gonna start hitting up our farms. We've still got a lot of work to do. I wanted to get it done tonight. I'm gonna do my own time check. We've got about half an hour, 40 minutes to go. I might not finish this tonight, but we will have to finish it another time because we're going to be onto the Frog Garden Metropolis tomorrow. So, Wargaming Recon, I don't know, is the answer to that. I don't know, and I was quite upset about it when it occurred. So was the cartographer that actually got the credit for it. She wasn't happy. Because she was embarrassed. She was mortally embarrassed. I was angry. I was outright freaking angry. But that, by the by, that was years ago now, so put it behind me. Well, they didn't do it maliciously. You have to remember, like, a lot of these companies they're calm and super professional on the surface, but there's a lot of chaos behind the scenes. And there's a lot of different people working on stuff. And I'll guarantee the person that I was working with to do maps, I'll guarantee that it's not the same person that actually then was responsible for doing credits or Facebook posts and so on and so forth. So in between me and the person I was working with and over here, there was just a disconnect. It just broke. So, you know, different cartographer got the credit for that. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. I was pretty pissed at the time. I'm not going to lie to you at all. And, you know, I've made my voice known. But it is what it is, and it's water under the bridge right now. You know, it wasn't intended to, you know, let's just say that. It was an honest mistake. Have I ever worked for WotC? Treeball, you got it. I have not worked for WotC, and honestly, I'm okay with that. Because the clients that get me to do maps, like Frog God Games and Trollord Games, allow me to do things like this. And it's just, they just say, here, do your thing, make it look awesome, we want it to be a head turner. And they let me go. And honestly, typically I have a fair degree of turnaround time. 6 months, whatever. This one, I think Necropolis have probably been in the 9-month region, or will be by the time we're done. So I like that. Do your thing, make it look fantastic, because we want our customers to go, whoa, that's what I do. WotC doesn't. WotC are like, we need a map, we need it in 2 weeks' time, you know? And I can't operate like that. And honestly, some of the maps I've seen, I'm like, oh, okay, that's functional. But it's like, I just can't, I don't have that work rate. And they're not going to want the type of thing I'm doing. So that's the answer. So I would honestly be scared shitless if WotC contacted me. Because I think it's a bad fit at this point in my career. I mean, this isn't even a day job, right? I would rather work for Trollord Games for the rest of my life than even do one contract with WotC, because I think it would give me a heart attack. Like, you know, I'm gonna pick on Trollord again. They're doing something, I'm gonna say, they're doing something like 20 maps for Necropolis. I'm doing 2 of them. And they have their regular guy that churns out great maps for them, but when they want a head turner, when they want something that's gonna print off a 15 feet across or whatever, that's the one map that they get me to do. And I like that. I like that. They don't just say, you know, hey, we need you to draw us a city, because they know they don't need an 80-hour city. They're okay with the functional type of city most of the time. If they want their Bard's Gate type of map, that's when, you know, they would draft in someone like me. Not that they got me to do Bard's Gate, because that happened before my time. And yeah, Alex Fixon. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I want to say the medium companies, the medium type of, I don't want to call them medium big, but the medium companies are the ones that are actually the nicest to work for. They're way more human, they're way less machine, and they're generous. They're just generous. Without to the point of ridiculousness, but they're a little bit more generous. By the time you get into large, it becomes more corporate, you know, and everything just becomes way tighter. Timelines are tighter, pay is tighter, and I mean, yeah, would it be nice to say I did a map for WotC? Of course it would be. Of course it would be. But it would also probably be the last map I would ever do, because I would probably be way too stressed doing it. I can't draw simple. You know, I can't do basic. I've seen some maps that they're published, and they've probably been done in 8 hours flat. You know, full city, and it looks like it was done in 8 hours flat. I can't do that. I just cannot do it. But I do the shit that you put on canvas and you stick it on your wall. That's what I do. You know, I don't do functional. I actually struggle with functional. I'm still trying to derive my style for functional. I'm kind of all over the place when I try to do it. Anyway, I've done my shadows. I'm going to do the farms. Let's merge these guys together. We've got our little guy done. I'm gonna actually slide a little bit more towards the mud. Well, and that's it. And you know, there's certain maps. Is this working? Yeah, is it working? I guess it is. Oh, do I still have opacity on? I'm a dope. I have a lot of opacity on. That's why it's not working. My maps have soul. Mike Schley. Very talented artist, Mike Schley. Incredible maps. I don't know if I'd say they have soul, but they certainly have of high artistic ability. And I think he still does maps for WotC. I think he still does. I think he's their man, you know? And go for it. Anything less than Mike Schley, in my humble opinion, isn't worth having. It's like, I don't care. Just don't care. Mike Schley is the freaking artist. Okay, now I'm still on black, so let's get rid of that. Alright, we are going to vary up our textures and colours here. There you go. Alex Vixen. One of the artists I follow did art for 7 characters for one of the big game companies. Not saying which, that's fine. And he was paid the equivalent of 1 private commission for the 7 coloured characters and had the same deadline for all 7 in the same time frame as 1. Yeah, you see that? There are a lot of really talented artists in the world. And there are a lot of very talented artists who live in parts of the world where the cost of living is much lower. And they can charge much less. And if you are competing or attempting to compete on price, there's always going to be someone that undervalues you. And all you are then is cost. And it is about how low can you go. And you are on a different playing field if you get into that. I am not that. I never want to be that. It's not about the money to me. It is about I want to be given adequate time to create something that is unique. That is truly a head turner. That is truly something where people go, that's cool. Now don't get me wrong, I've done a lot of encounter style maps for various companies, ranging from fantasy through to Call of Cthulhu, that are just black and white pieces, and they are functional. But I also think that they still look pretty damn kick-ass and unique even within that capacity. And otherwise I just need to be given room to do my thing. And my thing is stylistically unique, and if I can't do that, I don't want it. I don't care actually how much money is even behind it. I don't want it. I need that time. And honestly, if I don't feel like I've got the time to do it, or if I don't feel like they want that uniqueness, honestly, I turn the contract down. You know, because it's gotta have that fading factor for me. You know, that I realized that a while ago. And wargaming, it's not even really... I mean, yeah, maybe it is to an extent, but I was going to say, it's not even really an integrity thing. At least for me, it's not an integrity thing. I mean, I think I've even done it with the frogs, to be honest with you. I think they asked me, you know, hey, would you be interested in this? And I forget what it was, but I think I said, you know, Robert Altbauer would be a better fit for this. He just would. Because I'm going to take too long, and you don't need what I want to do with this. I forget what the project was for now. I understand what I'm bringing to the table, and I want to be able to have an opportunity to do that. Otherwise, I'm not me. I'm just blending in with the crowd. And I don't want to blend in with the crowd. What can I say? It's like, okay, this is going to sound a little bit corny, so my apologies for this. But I feel we all yearn, at least to a degree, at least I feel like we should be yearning to a degree, to be immortal. And now we can't be immortal, but our names can live on beyond us. And the only way that that's going to happen for me is in some of these maps that I've created. Because hopefully in 30, 40, 50 years time, someone is going back through the Teagle iterations or the Gaxmore iterations or the Catalel iterations, and my contribution is in there. And that's what it's about for me. There are a lot of cartographers out there who are great cartographers. But unless you're creating something special that is going to live on, then what's the point? Like, what is the point? Like, anyone can do that. And I've got a large portion of my portfolio that is just going to blow into the wind like ashes and be gone as quickly as I am gone. But I've got some pieces that are going to live in time. And that's why I do it. Honestly, that's why I do it. And if I can't do that, then why do it? The Rome map I'm doing on my Patreon right now falls into that category. I am going to create a Rome map that gets out there. I promise you. I'm going to create an iteration of Rome, a version of Rome, with my detail that is going to shake people out there. And I want to, it's almost like I want to put, this is my contribution. Put that in the vault. That's what I want to be able to do. That's when I'm at my happiest. And if I can't do that, then it's a throwaway. I didn't mean to get heavy. But it's kind of my motivation. I gotta be honest with you. It is my motivation. At the very least, you know, there's... Look, I want to say that there's 3 types of maps. And not in the way that you might be thinking. You know, screw this. There's 3 types of maps. And I'm not talking about overland. Not talking about isometric. I'm talking about... There are functional maps where no one is going to care who drew it. It doesn't matter if it's a dungeon. It doesn't matter if it's a cave. It doesn't matter if it's a city. It is a throwaway. And no GM and no player is ever going to ask who drew it. They don't care. And that is like 90-95% of the maps out there. You know, you get asked the question of, you know, why are cartographers not on the same, or considered to be on the same caliber as artists? Well, if you think about it, a lot of art in our books go that way too. There's a difference between the art on the cover and the art on the interior. And as great as the art can be on the interior, even if it's just weapon artwork, no one cares who drew it. No one. They might critique it if it doesn't look good, but they're not thinking, who drew this if it looks good? And maps are in the same category. That's category 1. And then there are genuinely some nice looking maps and nice looking cover art out there, right? And the types where maybe people go, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks nice. And they acknowledge that some good work has been done on it. And maybe people become familiar with who did it. and maybe they really like what was done. And I think at the very least, that's what we should be striving for, is an opportunity, because it is an opportunity to do that. But then there's that top 1%, where you're creating something that is going to become your legacy. And I'm actually going to give you a real world example. Larry Elmore. Larry Elmore creates art. Inspired, evocative, soulful pieces. Larry Elmore does not dial it in. He isn't doing throwaways. And you see his artwork and you go, oh, that's nice. And you have an emotional reaction. And I think maps can be on that same level. I truly feel that they can. But not if the publisher just wants a functional piece. And that's why I feel extremely blessed that I am at least given the opportunity to try and pitch my maps into that hemisphere. And that's why I am obliged, I am obligated to put my soul into these pieces. Because anyone can do a throwaway. Anyone can do something that's nice. Who did this? Oh yeah, I like her, that's cool. But to have that opportunity to do something incredible that can live beyond you, something that goes into the records, something that becomes part of a canon, not many get that chance. And I recognize that I have been on several of my projects now, and that's honestly why I always say I'm gonna put the fade-in factor into this. I'm gonna put love into it. I'm just gonna pour everything I've got into this. I want you to see the crates on the wharf, the little cranes, the person milking a sheep over there. Milking a sheep? But you get the idea. This project I'm doing for Trollord Games could have been done in a quarter of the time and they would have been happy with it. And I'll tell you what, no one would have asked who did the maps. No one. That's not my standard. That's not what I do. I want people to open up the Castle Keeper's Guide and go, who drew this? And frankly, if there's a Castle Keeper's Guide number 3 in the future, I want whoever comes after me to go, oh, those are big shoes to fill. That's what that's what I'm about. That's my brand. That's what I do. That's my view on maps. I got a little off topic. Yeah, milking sheep. Milking sheep. You've all been with me for a while now, and you know that once a quarter, I'm just going to lay my emotion on the line, you know? Simple truth is I'm not in this for a living. Now, do I earn some money from this? Yes, of course I do. Do I buy myself a computer from this? Yes, of course I did. Did I buy this Wacom tablet I'm drawing on from the proceeds of cartography? Yes, I did. But I don't do it for that. I do it for you, hanging out with me, and I do it because I want to have the same reaction as you. I want to look at a map and feel it. You know what I'm saying? Feel it in here. And if you look at a map and don't have that reaction, well, A, maybe it's just something from National Geographic and it's not meant to invoke that level of reaction. It's just a functional piece. Or just hasn't been done right. It's been how many cover pieces of artwork are pretty good, they're nice. but you don't have a reaction from them. Honestly, I've got books here next to me where the cover artwork has done nothing for me. It's just colours on the cover. That's it. Bloody hell, if you're an artist doing cover artwork, wouldn't you want people to see it and go, wow? I know I do. So shit. If someone's going to ask me to do a map, I'm going to create that reaction. That's what I want to do. And if there's a client that doesn't want to pay for that, then it's not a good fit. That's the bottom line. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So I'm sorry for hogging the channel with that. I'm going to get back to colouring fields. Time check. So yeah, this is normally the time that I would quit, and I did a lot of impassioned speaking versus mapping. So we're not going to finish this map tonight. We'll finish it next Monday, and it will be fine. And by the way, after this one, we're going to move down to this guy. How could we not colour this one next? So this will be next Monday, okay? But I do have a few things still to do on this one. Again, we could just hand this in and like, it's good. It's good. It's fine. I'm just not done with it. So we're going to work on it a little bit more. I'm going to go 15 more minutes, okay? Like 5, 5, 5. In the pipe, 5 by 5. And by the way, everything I just said, that's completely heartfelt. That's what I'm about, you know? Like, if I think about just what I care for and what I'm trying to bring to the table, that's it. That's it in a nutshell right there. And I think sometimes I can't express that necessarily because I don't even realize what I'm trying to do, but that was it. Am I going to blur the water's edges? Yes. I'm not really actually kind of done with the water's edges because you'll see that some of my ground is bleeding over into it. I'm going to do the water's edges kind of last. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. You know what we might do before I end the stream? I might actually get the flagstone brush out and we'll paint those roads because the flagstone brush is such a cool brush. We could all have some fun with that. Gotta get this graveyard too done. It's Miss J, not Miss J's. It's Princess Streger's. And gotta make it look pretty. Princess Strega's not going to come out of her tomb unless it looks pretty. What's the point? She's like, comes out, goes, oh, they've still not done the grass. I'll go to sleep for another 100 years. There you go, Midwest. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Anyone can paint a miniature, right? Anyone can paint a miniature. Anyone can do it. If you can do it well, others can get an emotional response. Always aim for that. Always aim for that. I think, honestly, there's a lot of examples where people do great work that maybe does actually catch your eye, but they're not, like, shooting for that, necessarily. I think it's always worth shooting for that. Go high! Aim for the best. Aim to turn heads. You know what I mean? If you're not turning heads with whatever you're doing, why are you even doing it? Well, I know the answer to that, because I want to get paid. You know, that type of shit. I feel like we need more yellow. I kind of want to pop up the yellow on this map. Maybe yellow, light tan, less of the white. Less of the white. But I kind of want I want to get a little bit of a quilt feeling going with this thing. I have seen Bill and Ted Face the Music. I was disappointed. I was disappointed. I felt, if this is just my personal opinion, everyone has their own opinion on movies, or art for that matter, of any description. I felt it was a disjointed plot. I felt it was disjointed writing. And I felt it was a little rushed. And I think they could have added 20 minutes more to that movie. Slow down a little bit. Let me enjoy the gags. Let me enjoy what we're doing and the story. Instead of... It felt like a pinball game to me. It was just like ping, ping, and done. That's how it felt. My 2 cents. And I wanted to really like it. I think it could have been good. I think it genuinely could have been good. And I don't think that, you know, actors or actresses were dialing it in or anything. I never got that sort of vibe. It just felt rushed. It's almost like, I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. Was it a script issue? Was it a directing issue? I'm gonna blame the director because I can. But I almost felt like the director was like, whoever was to blame. Yeah, but let's get to the next scene because that's cool too. Yeah, but let's get to the next scene because that's even better. And it's like, yeah, but can I just soak up the coolness of this scene? Can I do that? Yeah, I got that Cloud Giant a while ago. It was years ago. And it's a nice job. You did a great job. It's just, there's something about the details. Actually, you know what your strength is, Midwest? Color combinations. That's your strength. Your shading is functional. But you have. There's another guy I know a little bit like you. He does wargaming miniatures. But you look at them and people love them. They love them, and you have that quality. You get the right color combinations, and you got a pretty steady hand. But you have the right color combinations that just makes a miniature jump at you. You have a good command of color, without a doubt. It is your #1 strength, without a doubt. And that Cloud Giant had it in spades. I mean, you had a pretty steady hand to get the runes and all the rest of it, but you just chose the right colors on that one. It just made it 50 times better than what a lot of other people are going to do out there, you know? Because they're just going to do something different. And whatever paint you use, whatever pigments are in them, whatever undercoat you use, it just all comes together. It has vibrancy. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. And that's the type of thing, by the way, I'm not sure it can be taught. I feel like it's an almost intrinsic thing. You've either got it or you don't. And you've definitely got it. You've definitely got it. There's another guy I use, or used to use. I don't use him nowadays. But he had the same sort of quality. It's like he just had this command of colors. It's like, how are you even thinking about working with this color? Like, how do you get this combination right here? I don't know about you. By the way, Midwest, we're going to have you back on the channel. You are on our list of guests to get back on. So you and I are going to talk about this again, I'm sure. I got to be honest, I don't. Maybe I'm just following the wrong people, but I don't like oil results. I got to be honest with you. I don't know what you feel, but I have no desire to experiment with oils at all. But that just may be the results I am seeing, where I look at them and go, ew. Cooking, petrol, and essential. There you go. There you go. I'm not sure why oils is a thing, to be honest with you. Like, I have a very good friend. He's a dear friend. I love him a great deal. And he uses oils, and, you know, he gets decent results. I'm not going to knock his results by any stretch. But I don't feel like they're bringing a magical quality to the table. I'm trying to sort of figure out the fixation with oils that people tend to have. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about oil paintings on canvas and stuff, that's something else. But I'm talking about on miniatures, right? And yes, Bob Ross was the man. I still get goosebumps watching Bob Ross videos to this day. Bob Ross, it's just... The world needs a lot more Bob Rosses. This might be a good time to hit the pause button on this map. This might be a good time to do it. Did I see your last message? From your own experience as an artist, I have to say that it isn't thinking at all. It's something that's like Zen. That's true. That's true. And it just comes together in mind, and from there it takes shape in the physical. I think that's true. I'm going to bet that Midwest is a little bit similar to this. It doesn't matter if it's a map or a miniature. Sometimes you picture it and you struggle to actually get it down. You got to noodle until it starts to work. So sometimes it's not just about letting it flow. I mean, I saw Larry Elmore, a piece that he's working on right now, where he said, like, getting the clouds right was a real struggle. So I feel like he had a vision, but, like, he had to wrestle to get it down. And I think there's a level of that still. But yeah, when you're in the groove, you're in the groove. And, you know, that's a great feeling. Midwest, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I've watched Bob Ross on Twitch, and it's a very, very relaxing channel just to have going in the background, without a doubt. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to leave, I'm going to hit save. And we're going to leave this particular piece here, pause, we're not done yet, and we're back tomorrow. Remember, Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to be working on Frog God's Necropolis map. So that's going to be exciting. I'm actually really looking forward to jumping into that with you all. Different map altogether. So it's going to be a dungeon map. So join me tomorrow. Join me Thursday. Don't forget, Thursday, we got Wargaming Recon with us. So that will be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. This one, I didn't manage to finish it, but I was probably being a little bit over-ambitious. That's okay, though. I mean, honestly, it looks done. It looks done. But there are things in here that I know need to be finished up, and I want to finish them. I want to get it right. The graveyard, the Princess Streger's tomb, the Avery right there, and we do still have some other fields. But I think it looks pretty close. Hopefully you do, too. I think it... I'm liking it. I'm liking where this thing is pointed. And then we do have to touch up the edges of the rivers. That, though, will be next Monday. Tomorrow, Necropolis. With Frog God Games. Ha ha ha. Until then, I want to thank every single one of you cool people out there. Thank you to you watching tonight. Thank you to the Twitch subscribers. Huge love to my patrons on Patreon. I seriously mean that. So until the next stream, until tomorrow night, everyone have a great evening. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I will see you on the flip side of this map. And we'll continue this all over again, but this time in an Egyptian-style tomb. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. I love you. Thank you for the great ideas and the great conversation. Awesome as always. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening.